Okay, now for part 2 of this, we need to write basically the method that draws all this stuff. Okay. So we want to draw. So we now want to draw all this stuff. So basically, remember, let's go and just refresh our memory as to what it looks like, right? What we want is basically to put all the points over here, right? And then turn all the points within a certain radius red. So first we need to know, okay? So what does boom need? It needs a point bomb. Needs a, because the bomb's going to be centered at some location, and it needs a int radius. Okay, then we need a list of points that we're going to be taking in called our cities, right? All the cities. We need anything else according to the slides? Oh yeah, and we need the thing that we're going to draw it on. You generally want to pass along, if you're drawing something, you generally don't create the thing you're drawing in the method, you pass along what you want to draw on. So, import class. Okay. So now we've got enough to write this. Okay. So, again, we want to do this piecemeal for what we have. So first, let's just make sure we get a drawing panel. So drawing panel, let's get our graphics. Drawing panel, build a new drawing panel. Panel.get graphics. And then we run this. And it comes up with that. And then once we close it, it's done. Okay. So now let's go ahead and we also want the location of the bomb. So point the bomb is equal to a new point. Where do we want it located? The bomb.x is equal to, let's put it at location 50. If you're wondering if there's an easier way to do this, there is once we learn a bit more, because we're going to constantly come back and refine this method, this program. Right? Nothing yet happens, and that makes sense. And then, so let's go ahead and do our boom method. So we've got the bomb. We've got, let's say we want it to have a radius of say 50. Yeah, 75. Sure, why not? Let's have a radius of 75. Now we need the cities. So that's our points. And then our graphics are the graphics we set up from the panel. Okay, so let's go ahead and test out how this works in the method. So let's go ahead and draw a dot, basically that area with the explosion in it. So bomb. So let's see, g dot draw oval, and so it needs the x and y coordinates. So we'll be at bomb dot x, bomb dot y, and having a single bomb, a single point means I had to, it was holding both the x and the y object, so I only need to pass it x and y coordinate. I only had to pass it one, and then its radius will be both the height and the width of this. So let's go ahead and, so we've got our circle now. Okay, so now let's go ahead and draw all the points first. So before we do that, let's draw all the points. So for each point, because I don't care what index they are on, for each point city in our cities, which is a collection of point objects. So for each individual point object, let's go ahead and let's see g dot draw oval. Let's draw like a small tiny little dot, full dot. Draw oval 3 by 3 and it should be located at, if we want it to be 3 by 3, the second arguments need to be 3 and 3. And if we want, and where do we want it drawn? We want it drawn at, let's say, well, it's that city, so it's the city's x coordinate and the city's y coordinate. Okay, so that's where all of our cities ended up. Let's go ahead and give them some more information so we can see where that is. G dot draw string. So we're going to draw that string. What do we want the string to be? We'll figure that out later, but we want it to be drawn at. We just want to draw some more information at it. What location do we want it? Well, we want it at the location for each individual city. Right. What do we want to draw? Why do we want the string, by the way? Right, because we want to draw this these xy pairs. Right, we want the dots, but we also want the xy pairs by them. So city.x, city.y, and the string is located where? Just simply say. Okay, and now if we run this, so now we have the locations of everything drawn in there. And now the last part is we want everything in there to be, that's inside the circle, to be drawn red. The first thing is that we need to set the color of our ink to red. So G dot draw, let's see, G dot set color. Ooh, red sounds good. So now we need to figure out basically for everything in the circle. So how do I know if like basically a coordinate is in the circle? I mean, that seems like a bit of a tall order. How do I know if everything's inside the red circle? Well, if the point is inside this, but we don't really know how to do that. But we do know what would be the center location of this, right? We know that this is centered on, I think, let's see, what did we say it was centered on? 50-50. So if the distance, if it's in 50, so it's 50-50, and what's its radius? 75. Okay, that 50. But the location isn't at, but right. I said the x and y are at 50-50, but it's not 50-50. The center of the circle is like in the 80-ish range. And why is that? Well, if you remember the draw oval method, right? The x and y coordinate over here, it doesn't put it on the it doesn't get put onto the center. This isn't x and y here isn't the center, right? These values wouldn't be the center. These values represent the top left corner. So in that case, I need to subtract the radius from both of them to move it into, and let's see what that does. So now center's where? Is the center at 50-50? No, it's not. So where does our center have to be? So where does the center have to be for this to go on? So go ahead and take a few minutes to try and figure that one out for yourself before moving on to the next video.